How do we support our body while grieving? How do we go over each and everything, go through each and everything while we're grieving? Welcome back to part three of the Broken Heart series. How to support your body while grieving. That's some of the things I want to talk about today. In the other two series, I identified where it is. And then yesterday, on Mondays, we talked about where it really shows up and what each of those things could represent for you if it's showing up in your head, your throat, your stomach, your heart, or your body aches. Today, I want to talk about, so we've talked about how grief shows up in your body, and we've talked about how to listen to what your body's saying, because your body's telling you this feels like crap. It hurts. But today we want to talk about what you do with all of this. How do you support your body when you're grieving? Because healing doesn't just happen in your head. It doesn't just happen in your heart. It doesn't just happen in your nervous system. It doesn't just happen in your breath. It doesn't just jack up your routines. Healing is how you care for yourself through the hard moments. What do you do for yourself through the hard moments? Okay. So part one is there are gentle ways to soothe the nervous system. When your body feels safe, your heart can begin to heal and let go through simple, powerful ways. So it can go through your body through different ways. Number one is breath work. So when you're getting overwhelmed, when you don't know what to do, when you are struggling, when you are thinking that I'm a nut job and I don't know what I'm talking about, when you feel that this grief is so bad that you absolutely don't know what to do with it, these are some of the things I want to talk to you about that you can do. It's different ways to help your body feel safe. Here's the deal. My program called Processing the Pain of Grief, which is an amazing program, I absolutely sit you down and I do exactly what it says. I teach you how to process the pain of grief. Friends, I am all the time talking about, where's my book? I'm all the time talking about, I'm going to use this one right here. The book that you received on grieving. Where's that book? Where's that book that says you have to do this, you have to do that? None of us got it. It doesn't come with our driver's license, friends. We don't get a driver's license, a marriage license, a raised kids license, and a grieving license. Oh, yeah, and a how to get your taxes paid license. We don't get that. We simply get a driver's license. The rest of this, everything that's in this book, we're left to figure out on our own. So one of the things I want you to be able to do when the grieving feels so bad is I want you to be able to do some breath work. I want you to be able to do some breath work. I think I'm going to take this circle off because that sounds bad, but I'm going to do here. All right. So I want you to be able to do some breath work. Try box breathing. It's inhale for 4, inhale 4, hold, and then exhale. Exhale 4. On this, and I totally believe this is true, you're going to have to tell somebody about this, that you need to do this, because sometimes you're not going to want to start. But somebody else in the room will say, hey, come on, let's do your breathing. Having someone else do it with you really works. So 2 minutes. So let me set up the scenario for this. You're sitting in the living room, you're watching TV. Your children are there. Your 16-year-old son is there, and your husband is there. And you guys are watching TV. And your mother has passed away. And you see a Mother's Day commercial on television. And instantly you get set off in your grief. They can see you start moving around. Tears start coming down your eyes. And simply, husband leans over. He gently puts his hand on your knee and says, hey, girl, let's breathe. Let's breathe. I'm okay with you crying. I'm okay with you getting agitated. But when you get to the point that you just can't move that grief, it's time to do something. And breathing is one of those things. You don't stop crying. You continue to shed the tears. You're going to continue to feel it in your heart. You let the pain simply be there, and then you breathe through it. Number two, so this is number one. Number two, hydration. I know this sounds crazy, but simply getting a glass of water can make a big difference. Also, make sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you're eating, right? That you have nourishment. Hydration, nourishment. Sounds crazy, right? If you're doing a lot of crying, it is going to affect your hydration. You want to be making sure you're drinking. Grieving is exhausting. It takes every bit of energy you have just to grieve. And so all of these muscles are feeling the grief. Being completely hydrated will help you. Eating something good. Yes, the lemon cake was great, but having a banana in addition to the lemon cake would be really good with a glass of water. No joke. No joke. Grief depletes the body. It depletes the body of everything it needs to survive. It depletes the body. Adding one glass of water and something, at least one meal a day or something nutritious, is going to make a difference. Number three is going to be gentle movement. Moving. Gently moving your body a little bit. Take a 5-minute walk. I'm only asking you to take a 5-minute walk. That's it. Don't take a walk. Go stand outside and let the sun beat on your face. Lean on the tree and get some of that energy from the tree. Take your shoes off and get grounded. Take your glass of water outside and sit on the porch in the sun and drink it in. Just move something. Just move something. A light stretching, swaying to the music will help you discharge the stress and get it out. Okay. Number 4 is touch. Touch something of theirs. Touch something of yours. Touch something that feels good. Put a soft blanket on your face. Hold on to his shirt. Put his shirt on. Take a warm bath. These things will bring safety to your nervous system and make you feel more grounded in the area. It will make you feel more grounded in the area. Is any of this going to make your grief go away? No. No, it is not. This is some way that you can take care of yourself while you're having this grieving. Here's the most important, so I saved this space for it, is the grief time. I would love for you to do this daily, but if you can only do it weekly, I'm okay with it. I want 5 to 10 minutes of grief time. I want you to feel the emotions that you're having. I want you to cry from these emotions. I want you to write what you're feeling or talk. But I want you to cry, and then you get to choose whether you're going to write it or talk about it. But this part is true. This is grief time. I want you taking 5 to 10 minutes. It is going to go directly to here. This is going to go directly to the hole in your heart. Sitting around waiting for it to go away is going to do nothing. It is not going to go away. You don't have to do all of this stuff. Pick something you want to do. These 1 through 4, this is number 5. 1 through 4 is just to get over the hump when it gets really bad. Just choose one. Consistency is the key. Okay. It is extremely important that you, the griever, create your own grief plan. What are you going to do with this grief? Okay, here you are. You've been smacked right in the face with this loss. What is your plan for how you're going to grieve? How are you going to get through this? Sitting alone and just waiting, was that your plan? Waiting for the time to cease, is that your plan? Talking to your friends who aren't giving you the support, is that your plan? What is it on your plan that you were planning on doing? Like I said, hey, I'm going to go back to the book. Let's go to chapter 6. Box breathing would work really well at this time. When you are exhausted and you don't feel like there's anything else you can do, go and take a nap. Go take a nap. Take a break. Take a break from your grief. Let everyone in your area know that you're taking a break from your grief. That's in chapter 6, but y'all didn't read it because you didn't get the book. And that's why I'm trying to give you all of the stuff that you need now, because we're not given the instructions on how to grieve. Okay. You do not need to fix your grief. You need to care for it. You need to mend it. And creating a grief care plan is one of those ways. I want you to write down a list. This is going to be in my notes. So look in the notes, it's there. Write down a list. What helps you feel grounded? Give me a list give me 3 things. What drains or overwhelms you during your grief? Give me a list of 3 things. Give yourself the list, right? You don't have to give them to me, but write them down. What helps you feel grounded? What causes you to be overwhelmed? What can I do daily to support my body through this grief? These are questions you're asking yourself. I'm going to put them in the chat so you see it in the chat. I'm going to put them in the description. You'll see them right in there. It's going to be called segment 2. I want to encourage you to write this down and put it somewhere visible. Put it on your mirror, put it on a fridge, put it on your phone screen to give yourself a roadmap. When you are tired, these are the things you know that will help you feel grounded. These are the things you know overdrain you. And this is the thing you're going to do daily to support you through. Okay, part 3. You've got to start reframing the healing journey. You have to start reframing your healing journey. You were not meant to push through grief. This is not meant for you to push through, to fight your way through. It's not meant to suffer day in and day out. You were not meant to suffer the long haul. You were meant to go through it step by step and slowly. This is not about getting over it. It's about being kind to yourself. Understand that you're grieving. Understand that this is something heavy to carry. Understand that this is pain. Understand that this pain won't always feel this sharp. I promise you that. But you can do healing when you take the intention to healing. Creating that grief care plan, that simple grief care plan that I just gave you, is a way of you taking your healing serious and doing it with intention. Every time you care for your body, you build a bridge between you, yourself, the grief, and the healing. Here's the grief, here's the healing, and you're building the bridge. You got to walk the walk. All I can simply do is guide you. All I can simply do is guide you. You're doing something incredibly brave. You are doing something incredibly brave. Probably, I would gather, the hardest thing you've ever done in your life. The hardest thing you've ever done in your life. Don't ignore your grief. Don't just wait for it to go away. Face it head on. As hard as it is, just commit. Just say, I commit to facing it. I commit to feeling it. And now keep coming back to the lie so you can learn how to care for it yourself. How you can learn to walk through it. Here's what healing looked like for me. Healing looked like I was able to talk about Austin. I was able to look at pictures of him. I could share about him. I laugh about him. I share him every day with you guys. You know I share him every day. My heart was absolutely broken. I used to say prior to Austin's death, that raising children and being married were the two hardest things I've ever done. But there's three things. It's raising children, being married, and grieving are the hardest things I've ever done in my life. And none of them came with instructions. Your broken heart deserves for you to be kind. It deserves for you to be kind to it and to care for it, to tend to it. Let me know in the comments one thing you're going to add to your grief plan this week. What's one thing that you plan on adding to your grief plan this week? Friends, if you haven't signed up for Grief Study Hall, I'd love you to do that. That's also in the instructions there. Grief Study Hall is every Tuesday and Thursday. It is another place that I also teach, but I coach. You can get on and I can help you through the tough parts. We're having a face-to-face conversation, and I'd be honored to have you there. Thank you, friends, for joining me, and I will see you on Friday. Bye.